Here we go. Duel number 1 of Team 7 versus Fala, Galera. We have Jude going first on Mermail. Starts with Neptibus. It's very good. Ryan has Valor. Won't be enough with Dragoons, depending on what's in the rest of his hand. He has Ash Blossom for Dragoons, too. It's crazy it takes 2 hand traps to trade with just Neptibus, but that's how Mermail is. Of course, there's nothing else after. See what Ryan's got. I think Ryan's playing Ryziel. Starts with Sword Ryziel, normal summon. It's probably the worst starter, but it is a starter. X send a duo, add node, make another duo drive, just so this one has 3 materials. Doesn't need aggregator right now, obviously. Add cross and plug in. Okay. Node send another Ash. I would have kind of played into Impulse a little bit, but it's fine. Nestor plug in. I guess he'd plug in either way. But this still isn't 8,000. Okay, he has 7th Tachyon. It just didn't matter. Yeah, nothing mattered this game. Frankly. It's just... oh, man. It's a good hand from Ryan. Very unfortunate for Jude. This nib is not going to matter. I don't think Jude has anything else you could... Yeah. Very unfortunate. Sometimes they just draw better. Here we go. Duel number 2. Team 7 versus Fala Galera. We have Jesse versus Paulo. This is absolutely gigantic matchup. Jesse, most YCS wins of all time against Paulo, who I think has the most tops of all time. If you don't know him, if you're like a Master Duel player and you don't pay attention to the TCG, Paulo PRJ is one of the GOATs for sure. He's up there in the conversation, just how many tops he has. He's won a few YCSs. Hasn't done too well at Worlds, though. So Jesse starts with the horse, gets impermed, but it is okay because he has Grand Exchange, or Grand Entrance. Fua. Okay, Fua's going to resolve here. That is good. But this is fine. You're resolving Sleepy, so he's going to get Command Creation here. Paulo will probably only draw 1. Second Creation King gets the field spell. Okay, and we reset Grand Entrance. So set 3. I mean, this is really what you want in Fua. This is why Memento is pretty good in Fua. We have Small World. Let's see. Small World with Lacrima banishes Sword Ryziel, adds Ash Blossom. This is interesting. So, Small World, generally worse than a 7th Tachyon if you're playing Ryziel. But in this case, because he's playing Fiendsmith, it lets him grab either engine at the cost of one of the monsters in his hand. So you have to play a pretty monster-heavy deck and make sure you have all your bridges correct. But this does get him... Ash Blossom is really interesting. So, he already has both engines in his hand. And adds Ash Blossom to play. I guess you could... Okay, so this stops Max E. This is actually crazy play from Paulo. Because nobody is going to Max E in response to Small World. Like, everyone will Max E in response to, like, a pot card, like anything that draws or searches, like, grabs cards from your deck, like Prosperity or something like that. But nobody would Max E a Small World. Maybe they need to, if more people play like this. Either way, we're going through Fiendsmith Engine. Requiem and Engravers are going to force out Creation King right here. Which, if you're Momentum, you're perfectly fine with this. Basically, Engraver effect is still live in the graveyard, so that will come back. Paulo has his own Max E. Obviously, Jesse has no response. He probably would have used a called by already, if he had one. I don't think they're all playing called by. A lot of people, as their chosen cards to share, are choosing. They get 3 cards to share throughout their whole team. A lot of people are choosing Maxi Ash Blossom and Fua instead of Maxi Ash Blossom and called by. Either way, we had Sword, and then Engraver comes back again. And we added X. So we have X after this too. But is he... So he's going to go High King Caesar. So Jesse has an answer to this, obviously. If Jesse didn't have an answer to this, he would have activated his Grand Entrance to... Yeah. Because Caesar would beat like Memento Fusion and Grand Entrance both. And so when you have 2 level 6 fiends like he did, you would have had to do something there. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what he had. I'm not sure if I knew that or not. He definitely has Grand Entrance right here. But yeah, get rid of Sleepy. That is good. Okay. Jesse's just so far ahead at this point because we know Apollo's gone through every engine card he could right there. There's nothing else that he could have drawn that would have been useful besides... Is Node live? Maybe, yeah, I guess Node and something else. Could have done something, but this is probably... Yeah, Horn Dragon is so good right here, man. Horn Dragon is so good when it goes off, but just like all the other Memento cards, like it absolutely can suck to draw in your hand sometimes. Like, oh man, I just can't get behind Memento. Like you would never find me playing this deck. It's like, obviously it has a lot of benefits, especially in a tournament structure like this. So most people are playing a Malice and a Ryziel list, and then their third deck is kind of up in the air. A lot of people are choosing to bring Mermail, or not Mermail, well yes, Mermail, but Memento as their third deck, partly because it doesn't lose to some of the same things that the other ones do. Like this deck, obviously, you just saw can play under Fua really well. It can dodge a lot of low impact hand traps most of the time. And then also for the shared card pool thing, you can run a lot of different non-engine that doesn't overlap with other decks in Memento. So like for example, Imperm, like Ryziel can just play a bunch of low impact hand traps here. He's playing Metaltronus, which is good into Ryziel and Malice. Probably he's probably playing something for Malice. Worst case scenario, Metaltronus can summon Aggregator because it's a Dark Cyrus if they want to negate something, and they'll negate something again when it leaves the field. But just like we saw Book of Eclipse, some people play Super Poly. Memento works really well with a lot of quick play spells. But either way, after he had so much set up, there wasn't really anything Paulo was going to be able to do after that. Book of Eclipse stopped his turn, like attacking directly, but with Memento is always going to be pretty easy to end the game after you have all the setup. But that was at least a much more interesting game than the previous one. All right, game number 3 of Team 7 versus Fala Galera. We have Gabriel Netz versus Ray. Gabriel is another one. If you don't pay that much attention to the TCG, you might not know him very well, but he is absolutely incredible player. He was, last couple of years, he's been tearing it up. Topped so many YCSs in a row. Right before, I remember right before Snake Eye format, like in that like Unchained tier Rescue Ace format. I think he topped like 3 events in 1 month or something like that. But so he's on Malice, and Ray. Did Ray do anything? No. Okay, so this is not looking good for Ray. Interesting that he made Cryptor first. So I assume he has the field spell in his hand. That's why he didn't go through Red Ransom, or he just felt like he didn't need it. If you just draw that much engine with Allure of Darkness, it does not matter most of the time. So Sets GWC with White Binder. GWC's back the Cryptor. White Binder gonna draw a card. Must be nice. Set GWC. Oh, he had GWC was off of Rabbit. Sorry, not White Binder. So he just sets it again. Makes sense. Pretty standard. Firewall. Let's see. Is he going for Terahertz or is he just okay? Just end here. Doesn't play Terahertz. It makes sense. If you don't want to use all the extra deck slots for Terahertz package, ending on Firewall and the Lingeribo is just as good. Lingeribo really good in the mirror match. Obviously stops like Imperm. They draw like 6 card off the top of the deck. Metal Tronus. This is pretty good. But he doesn't. Interesting decision to Metal Tronus the Firewall. Summoning Cryptor is good because even though Cryptor is negated by Metal Tronus, it's going to point to Appaloosa and not be negated if he wants to, if Ray can get something banished. But it looks like it might not matter here. MTP is going to banish the Cryptor and it's not going to come back. Was not properly summoned to begin with. And, I mean, once Malice has that much follow-up, it's not going to matter. GWC, he probably tried to proceed to battle phase. I assume why you banish that right away, but I guess it makes sense. You don't want to trigger its first effect. Interesting. Talents take going for Typhon. This is not going to matter at all. This is not doing any help to Typhon's win rate. I think Typhon gets a lot of hate because obviously people summon it when they have absolutely zero chance. But there's a lot of situations where Typhon actually can win you a game that you might not be able to win otherwise. So see here he summons his opponent's Typhon with Dark to turn off, I guess, Nibiru. That's the only thing really worth summoning Typhon for here, but it literally doesn't matter. That's I mean, Gabriel went first. Ray drew no hand traps. So that's just how Malice kind of plays. All right, here we go. Second set of duels. Fala Galera versus Team 7. We have Ryan against Paulo. Ryan drew and did nothing. Just past turn. Paulo, Small World, gets Ash Blossomed. That's pretty good, frankly, for him, if that's getting Ash Blossomed. Ryan probably Ash Blossomed that partly to protect his Maxi, because he thought Paulo in the previous game, when Paulo played Jesse, he already had Engine, so he Small Worlded, if that's the right word, for Ash Blossom to stop the Maxi. Obviously, Ryan could have either dropped Maxi right away, or in this case he had the Maxi in response to Small World, or you just Ash the Small World, which makes sense. If you just have Ash Blossom, for example, obviously he's drawing with Maxi, so he's going to have more hand traps. But if you just have Ash Blossom against the Fiendsmith deck, you kind of have to just, hope that what you Ash... if they play a spell, Small World or Bonfire, you kind of just have to hope. Or 7th Tachyon, you just have to hope Ash Blossom will stop their turn there. Because Ash Blossom is not doing anything against the rest of their other hands. Very, very rarely is Ryzeal losing to a single Ash Blossom. So he gets Impermed and Veilered here, and Meows. Oh no, Paulo is sending Meows. That's a very interesting choice. Obviously, Meows is pretty good against Malice, and it's not bad in some other matchups. I guess you're playing it just because some of your spots are limited in this type of format for non-engine. And you have a chance of stopping Malice with it. I mean, it doesn't stop them like Lancia, but you draw a lot of cards, so it's going to be a lot easier to play against them. So he Talent Steals Duo. That's pretty good, because Duo still has material on it. for this. Talent's so good in the Ryzel mirror match. I mean, it's good in most matchups against Ryzel, but a lot of times, by the time Talents is live, you've already thrown cards into this, but this is pretty good. For Ryan not having a single play, he passed with absolutely nothing to start the game. He obviously, as you can tell by the first 6 cards in his graveyard, you can see why he passed turn with nothing to start the duel, but it worked out, which is very, very surprising. So Ryan takes down Paulo right there. All right, here you go. Second game of the second set between Team 7 and Fala Galera. We have Gabriel Nets against Jesse Cotton. Jesse instantly shifter in the standby phase, or draw phase. But Gabriel's not playing Malice. He swaps to Memento because he assumes people are going to play anti-Malice cards against him, like this exact scenario. And then, yeah, Jesse is throwing out Lancia, Ash, Fua, but this doesn't seem like it's going to... It's not going to stop Gabriel entirely. He'll be able to make Creation King. Jesse will get 1 draw. Hopefully this resolves. Okay, that would have been big if he drew another hand trap, but it doesn't seem like he's probably not playing. If he's on Lancia, this is like a Malice specific deck, and he's probably not playing Imperms and Veilers and stuff like that. Or at least not a lot of them. Okay, giving him another draw. This is fair enough, I guess. How many draws do you think? I guess one thing, you're a little less scared of him drawing more cards if he's playing, like, if he's obviously building to beat Malice, he's just going to play a lot of cards that are not going to do much against you. Like, might even play some trash like Chaos Hunter or something like that. So 2 Fua draws to be able to end on both Combined Creation and Creation King, and we know he has Mason Hand. That's the steel one. And draw. That's pretty good. Yeah, Sekka's Light. So this is Mermail. He's playing the Kaijus. Some people were 50-50 on playing the Kaijus or not. It's pretty good. Obviously, it's an aqua and a water. You can send for your effects, but also you can bounce it back to your hand. Jeez, Creation King for 3 cards on both sides. That is pretty good. Mermail did not start. Yeah, not starting Neptibus. I mean, which Neptibus would have instantly just lost to a pop anyways. But still pretty good. Teus, Heavy Infantry, Abyss Spike. Yeah, I mean this is game over. We saw the same thing in the first round where Jesse, like, if you leave Memento with anything, they're just gonna kill you very, very easily. Cross Sheep, I mean, they probably don't even need to do anything else. This is, I don't know if they resolved Akiron to attack directly, did they? I mean, it didn't matter anyways. But, yep, so Gabriel takes down Jesse, which is good because before this game, Team 7 was up 3-1. So this helps. They had to win one of these. Here we go. Game 6 of Team 7 versus Fala Galera. Ray is going first against Jude. Right now, Team 7 is up 3-2 in games. So Ray has switched to Lab. Very interesting, but I mean, he's obviously loves Lab, very comfortable with it. Playing the Your Servant package, I guess it makes sense. So he's got a punishment, big welcome, draws Maxi, And DDG must be nice. Okay, Jude starts with Millennium Singenjin. Must be nice. This card, a few years ago, for the World Championship qualifier, this card was literally the most popular card. There was more Singenjins than engravers in the World Championship qualifier, like top 100 deck lists. I mean, this was the best engine in the game before the new decks came out. It was literally better than Fiendsmith. I mean, it played alongside Fiendsmith, but just committing to this Maxi, which I guess makes sense. You're playing Lab, so they're not going to draw anything useful. Because Lab is their second deck, so they're really not including any non-engine that could possibly conflict. So they're going to have the shared cards, and that's about it. Like, they're not going to draw any hand traps. So they're just trying to play through it. But this is Sprite with Millennium, which is crazy, but I guess it works. I mean, Singenjin literally gets you like anything in the game. I mean, the card is absolutely fucking broken, especially in Master Duel, where like it just supplements all their engines that were like if you're playing Snake Eyes, for example, and they hit every single card in your deck to 1, and you need some like extra consistency, just play Singenjin and you'll hit something off Solemn Vampire. Okay, so summons Maxi, Sprite Jet, you grab starter, doesn't play double cross, or not double cross, the attack boosting one. But is this, do we know what this set is? It does nothing. I mean, Mosquito and 3 other monsters, or 4 other monsters, depending on what attack you have, is game. So that Maxi did absolutely nothing. That's that's just Lab for you in 2025. I have no idea why Ray is trying to play it. He's trying to big brain people by switching his deck so that people have like, Artifact Lancia and random bad cards against him, but you play Lab and you just lose to like good 2025 cards. I mean, honestly, Sprite is not even 2025 cards, but Millennium Engine puts up 7,750 damage, I think, on its own. It's just like absolutely broken. I mean, more people should be playing Millennium. People are not respecting it because it's not seeing play in ranked against Ryziel. Like, obviously, Detonator beats it. But in Master Duel Worlds, you know exactly when you're going to be up against Ryziel. And so you can play Millennium and then just, like, have your second deck beat, or, like, not beat, but, like, built for Ryziel, obviously. Even if you build something to beat Ryziel, you probably still won't beat it. But that's one reason why I'm really surprised that we're not seeing more Millennium. Or, I mean, people might be bringing it, but not in their first 3 decks. Like, I would have surely put Christian Millennium or some form of Millennium pile in my lineup. Like, you're just frankly probably griefing if you're not doing that. Here we go, Game 7. This one's series looks like it's going the distance because Jude just won. So they are sending it to the last series. So Ray versus Gabe. Ray starts 7th Tachyon for Ice. That's pretty good. Oh, Droll and Lockbird. That's huge. That's like the biggest punish on 7th Tachyon, really. So Ice gets Star, which gets Plugin. And then we have Baguska Pass, Plan B, and he draws Book of Eclipse to out the Baguska. So we have Plugin. Alright, Plugin's not doing anything right now. This is not ideal for Ryan. Imperm on the horse is good. But Gabe has, I was going to say, pretty much any other of their quick play spells plays through that. So, Twin Dragon, Coin Creation, and the Horned Dragon. Field spell revives the horse. This is pretty good. Now Sleepy comes back, and then he's going to pop Sleepy with Memento Fusion to add Bone Party, and then Sleepy is going to add back or send, yeah. Here we go. Akihuron, goofy looking guy. Summon Celine. Interesting. Don't always see Celine. Is he going to? So he triggers the Anguage, which is good. I mean, this is probably not going to matter anymore. I mean, this game's over. Ryan obviously didn't have anything. Appaloosa, Sleepy to Fuse. He's got a plug-in and a Bagus cassette. And if we haven't seen it by now, it's probably more engine in hand. If you have more engine in hand, I don't know why you lead with 7th Tachyon, but you probably don't expect Droll. Droll is not super popular in Master Duel. Like, it's hit or miss. It obviously competes, like it conflicts with Charmies and Maxi, but Master Duel Worlds, people's non-engine is all over the place because of the card sharing stuff. But either way, we have Gabriel Nets beat Ryan. So 7 games in, they are up 4-3 right now. Fala Galera up on Team 7. Interesting. All right, here we go. Our next game in our second set. Or actually, no, this is the first game in the last one. We just saw Jesse on Mermail last game, and now he's playing against Jude, who's on Mermail. Opens Sekka's Light, puts back Mulian Glacia, and then passes turn. Very, very interesting. Classic Mermail brick. I mean, they have like 6 starters, or 6 1-carders, obviously. They have a bunch of 2-card combos and play Sekka's Light. But he does play Perulia, which is doing something here. And a Fua. Okay. I mean, if you're going to end on absolutely nothing, you better have Charmies. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense. If he doesn't have anything else, though, the Charmies aren't going to matter, okay? I mean, Maxi will help, but does Jesse think Jude is playing anything that will actually be drawn into to stop him? He had no play the first turn, so he probably had a bunch of non-engines where we saw these 4 cards, but at this point, what is Mermail playing that could stop this? Impulse probably being played by Malice. And you can even Impulse the Creation King, so it would have been Impulse on the Fusion. Yeah, it's just like too little too late. It's very funny. You resolved 2 Charmies and a Maxi, but with an open field, you're just going to die if Memento gets to play the game. Here we go. Another Team 7 versus Fala Galera. Ray versus PRRJ. Ray, we knew, was on Malice. Paulo was on Fiendsmith Rizal early. Starts with an Imperm on White Rabbit. That can be pretty good if they don't draw a Imperm or not a Bestial or a March Hare. Paula starts with Ice normal summon. Usually pretty good, but Ray has Metal Tronus with a Detonator, which stops Ice, but does not stop. He had the node, it looked like. Yeah, Metal Tronus only stops the lights, most importantly. So, like, for example, if that was Sword, then you would not have Beta 1 Metal Tronus it. But draws another White Rabbit. Decides to Detonator the Detonator. And then Called by on Ice Rizal because it's about to be an Imperm column. I guess that works. But you're going to lose the White Rabbit to Detonator. Talents probably draw you Gold Sark. Yeah. Or not draw you, but... Oh, he had Talents already. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Detonator pop itself so they don't steal it, which their Talents does nothing, but they have Gold Sark. They have used Rabbit's on field effect, but they haven't used Dormouse at all yet this game. So if this is an Imperm or something like that, yep, okay. So this keeps Paulo in the game because Ray has nothing else. But Dormouse can just use its effect again next turn. So Paulo has to draw any Fiendsmith card, any Rise. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Draws nothing useful. It's not a Veiler, not an Imperm. What other non-engine would he play? Droll. Droll's going to do absolutely nothing right here. He could have... He went through all his Imperms. Yeah. Okay. This game is probably over. He set... yeah, Ryzel doesn't play anything that would save him right here. An Impulse on Hard Scripter is about the only thing that can save you right here, which obviously Ryzel's not going to be playing Impulse. But... yeah, very... having Talents and Thrust saved Ray right there. Very interesting. I don't think that many people are playing Thrust in Malice, but I guess it kind of makes sense. With all the non-engine stuff with the Worlds format, you kind of have to share it. You have to think about what cards you want to share with your teammates or what cards you want your teammates to have rather than your deck list. So I guess you're going to see stuff like Thrust you might not see as often. But Ray beats Paulo, and that is actually the end of the match. Team 7 has defeated Fala Galera. I think this is 5-4. Yeah, so the Ray versus Jesse, or Ray versus Paulo is the very, very last game. Cool.